Imagine being rejected by everyone. Then one day, you gain the power of a monster, feared by all. This is the story of Kaiju number 8, and today, we'll break down the full season 2 with all the action, emotions, and shocking twists. Our anime begins with a loud alarm and explosions. A boy reassures his little sister, telling her, everything will be alright. Suddenly, the defense force appears with our hero, Kaiju No 8. They open fire on him from every direction, but he grows furious and transforms into a massive monster, only for us to discover it was just a dream. Now our hero is locked inside a cell while the city around him lies in ruins destroyed by his own hands. The defense force captured him after the disaster. Next, we see two recruits who want to join the defense force. This is Shinomiya, the director's daughter, whose dream is to join the 1st Division, the strongest unit in Japan. And then there is Narumi, the captain of the 1st Division. His personality is strange, lazy, addicted to games with no sense of responsibility, which makes Shinomiya dislike him, but she still asks him to train her. Suddenly, another alarm, a kaiju attack. The defense force moves quickly and opens fire to push the creature toward the bridge, but it surprises them and destroys the bridge completely. At this moment, Narumi appears. He orders his team to stall the kaiju. Then he prepares himself. He jumps out of a plane, activates his ultimate weapon, lands on the kaiju's back, and unleashes heavy fire until the creature is torn apart into pieces, covering the city. My God, what power! Shinomiya is excited by what she sees, but Narumi is annoyed that his name was not mentioned in the news. Suddenly, his phone rings, but he ignores it. An old man kicks him from behind, forces him to answer, and drags him to an important meeting. In the meeting, the director announces Kaiju No 8 will join the 1st Division. Everyone is shocked. The director tells him, prove yourself and make the others accept you. But Narumi refuses and says, the only thing this division needs to be stronger is me. The director replies, Kaiju evolve in ways we do not understand, so we must evolve too. Narumi suggests using Kaiju No 8 as a weapon. The twist is that Kaiju No 8 agrees because he wants to protect the people, but Narumi coldly responds, your feelings do not matter. Show me your strength. If you lose control again, I will kill you on the spot and wear you as my suit. In the end, we discover that the director is hiding a dark secret, something kept in the shadows. In the early morning, the city shakes with a violent earthquake, and a huge fissure opens in the middle of the city. From it, countless kaiju emerge, spreading destruction, while civilians scream and run to evacuation zones with sirens echoing everywhere. Meanwhile, at the Defense Force headquarters, the soldiers finish their morning training, and the protagonist remembers the commander's words telling him he must prove his worth or never be acknowledged. Narumi smirks at Shinomiya, saying, if you want me to be your trainer, you will have to pay me. He replies, annoyed, this is not the time, idiot. Suddenly, the alarm goes off, calling all units to mobilize because kaiju have appeared in the city center. The defense force deploys quickly into the street. A young girl and her brother are trapped under rubble as a giant kaiju approaches them, but Narumi leaps from a rooftop and cuts it down, telling them, you are safe now. It is over. The rest of the team fight bravely, defeating many kaiju. Orders arrive from command. Narumi will lead the mission while Shinomiya and Kaiju number 8 head to the extermination zone to eliminate any monsters breaking through the lines. The soldiers lure the kaiju into the kill zone. Preparing to destroy them with heavy weapons, Shinomiya activates her powerful weapon, unleashing a devastating strike that amazes the soldiers. One of them shouts, her power has grown so much, while Narumi thinks it is strange. These kaiju rarely appear on the surface. Someone must be commanding them. The protagonist tries to transform into Kaiju number 8, but trembles with fear. Remembering his past battle with the director, he says to himself, I must transform or everyone will die. He tries and fails again and again. Then a kaiju slams him to the ground. Suddenly, Kaiju number 9 appears beside him. Shocking everyone, a soldier cries, it is number 9. The monster smirks, saying, I came because I sensed your presence. Number 8. He fires at the helpless protagonist who still cannot transform. Narumi tries to help, but Another clone of Kaiju 9 blocks his way. The defeated Kaiju rise again as if they were never killed. In the command room, the director watches. His advisor warns him that overusing the weapon will shorten his life back on the battlefield. Kaiju 9 charges to finish the protagonist, but Shinomiya intervenes, cutting his body in half. The soldiers cheer, but his body regenerates instantly, as if nothing happened, and he smiles again with malice. Narumi fighting against the clone of Kaiju 9. We return now to our hero and Shinomiya. They set a plan to defeat Kaiju number 9. Both rush toward him with full force, but the monster proves to be too strong. Shinomiya slashes him once again. At that moment, she remembers her past. When she was just a child, she saw her mother, one of the strongest warriors of the defense force. Shinomiya felt proud and told her mother one day she would join the defense force too. Days passed and tragedy struck. Her mother was killed by a kaiju. From that moment, Shinomiya decided she must become stronger. Back in the present, she tears through the monster again with all her might. Our hero tries to transform, but fear holds him back. Fear of losing control, fear of killing his own friends, and once again, he failed. The focus shifts to Narumi. He gathers all of his strength and launches himself at the kaiju. The monster tries to escape, firing bullets, but Narumi dodges them with ease. The kaiju spreads its roots into the ground. A massive explosion is unleashed, but Narumi walks out unharmed. His eyes begin to change. In a flash, he strikes, piercing the kaiju with unstoppable power. It is revealed Narumi's eyes are not normal. They are a weapon taken from another kaiju. They allow him to predict the future by reading brain signals. The monster attacks again, but Narumi already sees it coming. He dashes forward, finds the core and rips it apart, ending the kaiju once and for all. But the battle is not over. Our hero trembles, whispering that he is afraid. Afraid to be consumed by the kaiju, Shinomiya yells at him, telling him to stand strong, to never underestimate himself or the defense force. Her words ignite his spirit. At the last, he transforms into Kaiju number 8. In that very moment, Kaiju number 9 revives all the fallen kaiju. The battlefield swarms with monsters once more. Our hero orders Shinomiya to hold off the horde, while he himself faces number 9. He charges with overwhelming speed, ripping through enemies, tearing out their cores in seconds. Bullets rain down, but they have no effect. He leaps onto a tall building, then soars high into the sky, and finally dives with crushing force. The impact shatters number 9 into countless pieces, leaving the soldiers in absolute shock. And so the battle ends. Everyone is happy, celebrating their victory. They manage to eliminate the remaining kaiju, and the director thanks them for their courage. But Narumi feels something strange. He remembers the kaiju's words to our hero. It is time to kill you and take that kaiju power. Narumi begins to think. Maybe the kaiju is after something much greater. Suddenly, an alarm goes off in headquarters. A kaiju signal appears. Kaiju number 9 speaks directly to our hero. He admits he could not defeat him, but says he has another purpose. In that moment, number 9 reveals his true form in front of the director. Narumi and our hero rush toward headquarters, but chaos has already begun. Number 9 destroys everything in his path. The director releases his weapon, forged from Kaiju number 2, and the battle begins. The clash is fierce. The director is thrown to the ground. The Kaiju strikes again, but at the last second, the director blocks the attack. He channels the full power of his weapon. They collide with unimaginable force. For a moment, the director believes he has won, but number 9 rises again. He unleashes a storm of attacks, overwhelming the director. The director crashes to the ground, drained of energy. Yet, with unshakable will, he stands once more. He gathers every ounce of strength left in his body. The kaiju charges forward. The director blocks and summons one final strike. The kaiju's core is revealed. With his other hand, the director releases a devastating blast. The explosion tears through number 9's body. The battlefield falls silent. The director collapses, all his strength gone. But the horror is not over. Number 9 is still alive. His core remains untouched. With terrifying ease, he devours the director before everyone's eyes. Our hero and Narumi arrive too late. They see the shocking scene unfold, but our hero senses something wrong. He warns Narumi, that is not the director. Number 9 attack. Narumi is almost struck, but our hero saves him just in time. The kaiju reveals the truth. He has fused with the director's body. Shinomiya opens fire, but the monster is unfazed. Narumi launches a barrage of attacks, but number 9 shrugs them off. He tries to escape, but Narumi blocks his path. Our hero joins the fight beside him. Together they strike, but number 9 blocks everything with ease. His true power has only just begun. Our hero and Narumi begin their battle. They fight together as one, exchanging powerful blows against the kaiju. But still, they cannot bring him down. Suddenly, Narumi cuts off his arm. They rush forward again, not giving him any chance to regenerate. Our hero gathers his energy, unleashing a mighty strike that throws the kaiju far away. Together, they charge at him with incredible speed. But the kaiju detonates himself in a massive explosion, hoping to end it all. Their bodies are nearly torn apart, yet he never expected they would survive the blast. Realizing the danger, the kaiju decides to escape. He fires at Shinomiya and one of the officers to distract them. In that moment, he manages to flee. Everyone is left in shock. The announcement is made. The director is dead. The team mourns with heavy heart. Narumi remembers the past, the battles he once fought side by side with the director. Shinomiya, however, refuses to say goodbye. She blames herself for being weak, for not saving him. She begs Narumi to make her stronger. He agrees. Her harsh training begins. Soon after, Narumi receives a call. The message is clear. Something is happening to our hero. His transformations into a kaiju are advancing. If he continues, a part of him will never return to human form. Our hero returns home, silent and troubled. Later, he goes out to visit his old friends, the ones he once worked with. There, he sees the new version of the blade. Curious, he tries it out and spends the day working with them until evening. As the sun sets, he says goodbye with a quiet smile. But when he sits alone, Narumi appears. He looks him in the eye and says, "I cannot allow you to stay on the team. If you keep transforming, you may never return as a human." Then suddenly, his tone changes. "But you must help us. Even if you remain a kaiju forever." Our hero clenches his fist. "I will help you, because the director was the only one who ignored the objections of others and gave me a chance." Training begins. The team pushes their bodies to the limit, preparing for the battles to come. And in the shadows, Kaiju number 10 appears. The kaiju screams in front of Sergeant Hoshina, so the sergeant tells him, "Try that again and I will kill you." The kaiju replies calmly, "I wish I had defeated you and swallowed you." The sergeant sees an image of Kaiju number 9 appear and asks him, "Do you know anything about him?" Everyone is shocked when the kaiju answers in a cold voice that he is its creator. The kaiju sets his condition before speaking further. He says, "I will not speak unless you take me out of this place, turn me into a weapon, and use me." He remembers their last battle in front of him and says he enjoyed it, then asks for time to plan. The sergeant leaves and speaks with his aides, and they mention that this offer is dangerous. It might take control of your body. After hesitation, the sergeant accepts the offer. The scene returns to the team training. Sergeant Hasegawa arrives to tell them that Sergeant Hoshina will come here. Narumi's team and Hoshina's team gather in the same place and they do not agree on anything. Squabbles break out and it almost turns into a fight until Hasegawa intervenes with a firm voice and silences everyone. They welcome him and prepare to start an emergency conference. Here Hoshina begins to speak. He gives them new information about Kaiju number 9. He tells them that he created Kaiju number 10. He reveals that number 10 told him it is only a prototype. He warns that they must meet and work together to fight it and to eliminate other models it may create, otherwise the country will perish. Silence and shock spread across everyone's faces. Hoshina explains that developing the new generation is the key to survival. He says they are working on developing someone who can use Kaiju weapon number 6. It becomes clear that this weapon is the strongest and most dangerous. They mention the name of the man who has been recruiting for the defense force since the start of the anime, and his name is Ichikawa. It also emerges that Kaiju number 6 was once called the King of Kaiju in the past, and that he was the one who killed Shinomiya's mother. Then Captain Ichikawa faces the decision. He is told that carrying this weapon will be a tremendous burden on his body. Most who use such weapons die before they succeed in letting go of the power. They confirm to him that weapon number 6 is the most dangerous and the strongest and urge him to refuse. Despite the warnings, Ichikawa makes his decision himself and agrees to be prepared. They take him to the laboratory to start activating the weapon. The fusion process begins at the level of the arms only. Ichikawa feels a tremendous energy he cannot bear, and he sees images of the kaiju before his eyes and experiences a horror that makes his blood run cold. Ichikawa wakes up in the hospital after the fusion failed. The captain tells him that even partial preparation places this huge pressure on your body. So imagine what will happen if you try to prepare the weapon completely. He advises him to refuse to preserve his life, but Ichikawa insists, saying, "I will do it." Then he is told, "You will get a trial period of 1 month, then you will go to an extermination mission so I can see if you are worthy of using the weapon." They return to the fusion process once more, but it fails. The defense force surrounds the kaiju to test kaiju suit number 6 on Ichikawa, but he does not fully merge with the suit. The captain says firmly, "You must take down the larger kaiju, and if you cannot, I will finish it myself." The defense force launches toward the beast. Ichikawa rushes into the fight at full speed. He tries to control his eyes, but he cannot do it properly. His friend rescues him in a critical moment. Ichikawa gets back up and attacks the kaiju again. He unleashes an ice assault and damages it. His friend remembers the training days, how Ichikawa had no skill and everyone used to be ahead of him. The kaiju attacks and throws him to the ground. Ichikawa saves him and says, "I will handle the rest." Ichikawa gathers his strength and prepares. He charges toward the monster and with a single touch freezes the kaiju's arm. He gathers even greater power to pierce the creature's skin. The assistants warn him of the danger, but he replies, "I'm fine." The kaiju changes form and fires at him. Ichikawa is incredibly fast. He climbs on top of it and unleashes ice everywhere. But the enormous effort drains his body. His blood pressure rises and his muscles begin to tear. He feels intense pain in his head and all over his body. He loses control of his thoughts and begins to lose command over his power. The area around him freezes. Doctors discover he has 16 muscle tears and 4 bone fractures. He does not stop fighting despite the pain. He sees that his foot is broken and he cannot stand. The captain wants to intervene and finish off the kaiju. Ichikawa's friend runs to him and shouts at the captain, "Give us time! Give us a chance!" He reaches Ichikawa, lifts him and carries him away from the front lines. He tells him, "The captain has bought us enough time. You must defeat the beast to be officially allowed to use suit number 6. He says he will place the core at a point you can strike from long range. Then he leaves him and charges at the kaiju. Furuhashi charges forward with excitement. Ichikawa gets ready to attack. Furuhashi fires at the kaiju. They watch his power carefully. They notice it increases when he focuses in battle and weakens when he gets distracted. Someone comments, "This ability, it's exactly like the captain's." Furuhashi climbs on top of the kaiju, but the monster throws him away. He returns with stronger resolve and pushes his power even further. Surprising everyone, finally, he exposes the core. Ichikawa releases his decisive strike, destroying the kaiju completely. The battle ends. Furuhashi rushes to Ichikawa to shake his hand. Captain Ashiro declares, "Ichikawa is ready." The commander adds, "It's strange. In the same time, someone can use number 6 and another has the same ability." He continues, "I will teach them everything I can." Our hero is shocked when he learns Ichikawa will wear weapon number 6. He sees it as dangerous. Shinomiya strikes him angrily. "Don't underestimate us," then whispers to herself, I must become stronger. While running, our hero suddenly faces Vice Captain Hoshina. Hoshina says, "Do you think you can take my place next to Captain Ashiro in this state?" He charges at him to scare him and adds, "This is your punishment for hiding the truth from me." He continues, "I've heard what's happening to your body. I will defeat number 9 myself, so don't transform again." Our hero cries, "This is not a solution. I want everyone to accept me for my own power." Hoshina replies, "Follow me, I'll teach you how to fight." They train together, but the gap between them is huge. Still, our hero is determined to face him. He tells himself, "I am weak without my transformation." Hoshina knocks him to the ground and says, "You've grown stronger, but it's still not enough." Then he adds, "Since we cannot stop you from transforming, we'll make you stronger to shorten the time you stay transformed. As long as you live in Japan, your life will never be free from kaiju disasters. Number 9 is not the only one you will face. You have a future waiting. Survive this and come steal my place next to Captain Ashiro." Our hero thinks, "I was only thinking. They need number 8. I must grow stronger." Suddenly, he sees someone standing before him. But before he can approach, that figure vanishes into thin air. They leave the place. Our hero begins his daily intense training. Shinomiya arrives and hands him his phone. As he unlocks it, a call comes from Ichikawa. Yocham scolds him for not checking on him during the past 2 months. He admits he was worried. Our hero apologizes, saying, "I feared you would no longer accept me, that everyone would hate me after knowing I am Kaiju number 8 inches. Furuhashi replies firmly, "That's wrong. We saw you risk your life to save the base. How could we ever think you're not one of us?" Meanwhile, kaiju models begin to multiply and grow. Attacks strike the city from every direction. The commanders hold an emergency meeting. They select the warriors who will wield weapons and wear the kaiju suits for the coming battle. Narumi quietly tells Shinomiya, "You will inherit kaiju weapon number 4, the one that belonged to your mother." Everyone begins harsh training for the fight ahead. Our hero's strength grows stronger day by day. During a break, he goes to eat. There, he finally meets Captain Ashiro. They talk about their past when they were young. Ashiro thanks him for saving the base. She tells him, "Hoshina informed me of your decision." Our hero answers firmly, "Let's wipe out every kaiju together." Suddenly, a kaiju appears in the city. It unleashes devastating attacks, destroying everything around it. Reports of kaiju attacks spread across the entire city. The monsters begin destroying everything in their path. One kaiju charges at a girl. It's about to devour her. But Narumi arrives at the last second. With a single strike, he tears the kaiju apart. Defense forces deploy throughout the city. Narumi continues his incredible performance. Meanwhile, Shinomiya launches with her new weapon. It's the fastest among all numbered weapons, and the only one capable of flying through the skies. She dives toward the kaiju like lightning. In an instant, she takes it down. Then she eliminates the rest of the monsters in the area. At the same time, Captain Hoshina activates weapon number 10, the first weapon capable of speaking to its wielder. It pierces through the helicopter on its own, dropping into the middle of a kaiju swarm. He prepares to wipe them out. But a conflict arises. Both Hoshina and the weapon want to fight in opposite directions. A massive explosion erupts. The captain is injured, but he narrowly survives. Then, slowly, they begin to sync with each other. Their bond grows stronger. Together, they tear through the kaiju in moments. Moving in perfect harmony, they annihilate everything in their way. Only the leader of the horde remains. The captain gathers all his strength. He launches with overwhelming force and rips the kaiju into pieces. At that very moment, Captain Ashiro prepares to join the battle. From 20 kilometers away, Captain Ashiro fires upon the kaiju, one after another. They fall. But suddenly, the strongest kaiju appears facing Narumi, Hoshina, and Shinomiya. The kaiju charges up, ready to unleash fire on Shinomiya. She dodges quickly, but the blast wipes out the soldiers around her. Shinomiya gathers her strength. Everyone braces for the fight. She dashes forward with speed and skill, but the kaiju is far too fast. It fires again, and she avoids the flames at the last moment. Then, with a single strike, the kaiju hurls her far away. Back to Narumi. He battles the water kaiju, unleashing gunfire non-stop, but the monster does not falter. The kaiju speaks, "I know you predict movements, but you cannot predict the flow of water." Elsewhere, Lieutenant Hoshina struggles against his foe. He mutters to himself, "I never imagined someone could defeat me in a blade fight." It becomes clear, these kaiju were designed for each warrior, built to destroy them. The clash with Captain intensifies. She unleashes her full power, yet the kaiju remains unshaken. It strikes from behind, knocking her hard to the ground. The beast moves in for the kill, but at the last second, our hero arrives to save her. Finally, he joins the battle and transforms into Kaiju number 8. So what will happen to our hero and the rest of the team? And what are Kaiju number 9's true plans? Now it's your turn. Tell us in the comments. What was your favorite moment in this season? Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends for more epic anime breakdowns. See you in the next video.